Today, we are doing absolute value, so what we did yesterday, but with inequalities now. So greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, okay? It is very similar to what we did yesterday. However, there is one very large difference that makes all the difference in the world when you're coming up with your answer, okay? So, couple things. The thing that I think can be a little bit tricky is figuring out if it's an and problem or an or problem. So the shortcut, the little like trick that I always give people is this. If I have the absolute value of something is less than B here, okay? Absolute value is less than. I say think of it like this, less than. This is going to be an and problem. There's going to be overlap. Here's what you do. Are you hearing me? Yesterday, when this was an equal sign, you don't have to write this down. This is just review of yesterday. When it looked like this yesterday, and we had isolated our absolute value, what did we do? After you isolate, you write two equations. Okay, today, once you isolate, you write two inequalities. But here's the trick. One of them is going to look exactly like it already does. AX plus C is less than B. You just take away the absolute value bars. The other one is going to become negative just like it did yesterday. The difference is when you make it negative, think of it as we just divided by a -1 essentially. You have to flip your symbol, right? When you multiply or divide both sides by a negative, you flip your symbol. So this less than becomes greater than. And then you can solve them from there. And then when you graph it, you'll see it is an and problem. They come toward each other, okay? So less than, think and for a less than problem. When it's greater, okay, we say greater than, greater. So greater than is an or problem. You do the same thing. Once you have isolated your absolute value, then you're going to write two inequalities. The first one is going to look exactly like it did up here. The second one is going to flip the symbol and make this positive a negative. Okay? So change the sign and flip the symbol. So here's your steps. Number one, you need to isolate the absolute value if possible. Once you have isolated, you write two inequalities. The first one looks just like the original. Just take away the bars. The second one flips the symbol and changes the sign. Okay, flip the symbol, change the sign. Okay, so take a look at this first one. This says 8n, absolute value, is greater than or equal to 24. Now, before you even start to set this up and solve it, this is greater than. Is this an and or an or problem?
And.
Greater. Greater. Okay, so this is going to be an or problem. So here's what you do. You check first. Have I isolated my absolute value? Shane, have I isolated the absolute value? You're going to be my isolate guy now.
No. Yeah, no.
Yes, you have. You have, right? There's nothing outside of the absolute value. Everything is inside those bars. Okay? Once you've isolated, you write how many inequalities? Two. The first one looks just like the original without the bars. 8n is greater than or equal to 24. Write that down. The second one, you have to do two things, this and that. 8n is what? Less than or equal to, and make it negative, -24. Okay, so you have two inequalities, and then you just solve them both. So when we solve these, divide by 8, you get n is greater than or equal to 3. Or, it's an or problem, right? Right, divide by 8, n is less than or equal to negative 3. Okay, now graphing these. You've graphed compound inequalities, right? N is greater than or equal to 3. Is that an open or closed dot at 3?
Closed.
Closed dot at 3. So you're going to put a dot right here. What direction am I shading? Greater than or equal to the right. Okay, so you go like this for the red one. This one, you go to negative 3, open or closed? Closed. And you go what direction? To the left. It's an or problem, like the oars in a boat, they go out of the boat. I don't know who had their hand up first. Olivia.
When is it like, when are we gonna get to the part like that's like the, what is the step that's easily, like, that people forget?
To do both of these things. So a lot of times people flip the symbol but forget to make it negative, or people make it negative and forget to flip the symbol. Okay. So it's just, there's two things now, right? Instead of just making it negative like we did with the equal sign, now you have to flip your inequality and change the positive to a negative. So two things, yes.
Does that mean you can just write one problem with plus negative?
No, these ones you can't do plus or minus anymore because it's an inequality. So it's less than instead of equal to. So it doesn't work for the plus or minus anymore. That's a good question. Yeah, don't do plus or minus on inequalities. Okay, letter B. Is this an and or an or problem? Or, greater, right? This is an or problem. So we're going to say 2x plus 4 is greater than or equal to 5. You write it exactly how you see it. What's your other inequality? 2x plus 4 is less than or equal to negative 5. Okay? If you can do that part, the rest is simple. The rest is algebra, just basic solving inequalities. That stuff you guys know. So take your time, set it up right, and then solve. Take away the 4. So 2x is greater than or equal to 1. And then divide by 2. So x is greater than or equal to 1/2. Or, greater. Now solve the other one. Take away 4. So 2x is less than or equal to negative 9. Divide by 2. So x is less than or equal to a negative 4.5, or you can call it negative 1/2. 9/2 is fine too. If you like this, x is greater than or equal to 0.5, that's fine also. So now we're going to graph it. Okay. 1/2 would be right here. That's a closed dot. Shading in what direction? X is greater than or equal to 1/2. To the right. Okay. Then you have a negative 4.5. So that's going to be between your negative 4 and 5, shading to the left. Okay. We said it's an or problem. That makes sense. They're going away from each other. So you can feel pretty good about that. Okay. C is the fanciest of all of these thus far. What do you have to do first?
Get rid of that one.
Get rid of that one. We're going to go -1, -1. So the absolute value of h minus 3 is less than 4. Okay. Now, you don't want to check if it's and or until you've isolated. We have isolated now. Is this an and problem or an or problem? And, less than, right? This is an and problem. So your shading should go, where do they overlap? Where do they meet in the middle? Okay, so you're here. What do you do next?
+3.
Not yet.
You flip and you turn negative.
You have to write what? Two inequalities, okay? You have to write h minus 3 is less than 4, so exactly how you see it, but take away the bars. And then h minus 3 is what? Greater than negative 4. Okay, and then solve them. So now you're going to add 3. So h is less than 7, and h is greater than -1. Okay, so you can write it like that, or you could, if you really wanted to, you could rearrange this so there's an h in the middle. It will always be the less than symbols. Okay, so if you want to write it as one big inequality, you cannot do this on or problems. You cannot, do not do this on or problems. But on and problems, if you want to write it as one big one, you can. It'll look like this. The low end on the left, so -1. The high end on the right. So you could write it like that. Okay, Khalees.
When are we gonna use this in
Never.
I mean, I'll show you on the next word problem where you could use something like this very regularly if you had the right situation. Honestly, though, you guys, I love that question. When am I ever going to use this? You might never use any of what I teach you. That's not true. You'll use some of what I teach you, but you might not use a lot of what I teach you. What I'm more concerned about is you're learning to be a problem solver, right? You're learning to get from point A to point Z with whatever steps are necessary. And that is huge in life. That's huge.
We do that in like history.
Sure, you do it all over the place. That's why we teach you how to do it in life, right?
Like in Spanish,
Yes.
we are.
Okay, so you have open or close dot at 7.
Open.
Open dot at 7. Open or closed at -1.
Open.
Open at -1. If h is greater than -1 and less than 7, they are going to meet in the middle. Don't keep your arrows going, right? We're just looking on and problems. Where do they overlap? So it would look like that. Okay, last one. It says a company makes boxes of crackers that should weigh 213 grams. A quality control inspector randomly selects boxes to weigh. Any box that varies by more than 5 grams is sent back. That means 5 grams more or 5 grams less, right, would be sent back. What is the range of allowable weights? So, I did that wrong. So if you are at 213 grams, okay, and you take away the difference in your weight, we want the absolute value of that, because if you take away a negative, it's gonna be a positive, right? We want absolute value. So if you set this up, we're gonna set this up as an inequality, because it says any box that varies by more than 5 grams. So if the difference of those numbers is what? Well, this is asking, okay, that's tricky. Right. This says any box that varies by more than is sent back. But then read the question. What is the range of allowable weights then? So we want it to be a difference of less than 5 grams, right? Because if it's more than 5 grams, it gets sent back.
So it's less than.
So it's less than or equal to 5 grams, okay? Because if it's 5 grams off, it's not sent back. But if it's 5.2 grams off, it's gonna get sent back, right? So if we want the allowable weights, that's the 5 grams or less that it can be off by. Does that make sense? So less than or equal to 5 grams. How do we figure out what those possible weights are?
We do 2 equations.
2 inequalities. 213 minus x is less than or equal to 5. Is this an and or an or? Less than. It's an and problem. So that's one equation. What's the other, inequality. What's the other one?
213 minus x is
213 minus x is greater than or equal to -5. Okay. Okay, so now you solve this. Okay. There's a couple ways you could do this. What would you do first? If you were going to solve the one on the left, what would you do?
Subtract 113.
Subtract 213. Okay, so if we subtract 213, then you get -x is less than or equal to 5 minus 13 is a -208. What do you have to do next? Divide by -1. What happens when you divide by -1? You flip. So it's going to be x is greater than or equal to 208 for one of them. how would you solve the one on the right?
Subtract 218.
Subtract the 213 again. So a negative x is greater than or equal to a negative 218. Then what?
Divide by -1.
Divide that by -1. So you get what?
X is less than 218.
Yeah, you gotta flip it.
That's 218 and that's 218.
Right? Okay, so now look what happened, because it feels funny because you flipped your symbols, right? When we had already flipped our symbol the one time, now you flipped them again because you divided by a negative. So think about this. If this is an and problem, you could say 208 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 218. So if you want to write it that way, you can. If you want to write it this way, you can. But I want to know what this means. What does this mean?
But having to be in between those.
The weight of the box has to be, here, we'll just write this out. The weight needs to be, let's see if you know what this means. Between 208 grams and 218 grams, this is a very important word, inclusive.
Oh, that means that it can be 208 and 218.
Right, so if I say inclusive there, I'm saying the numbers I'm using are included in my answer, right? If I said the weight needs to be between 208 and 218, and I didn't write inclusive, then it wouldn't include 208 and 218. This one does, because it's got the equal to bar. Okay, so I want on every word problem you to explain to me what that answer means. If you just write this or you just write this, I don't give you full credit because I don't know that you know what you're talking about. So explain it to me. Yeah.
Can I just write between 209 and 219 and not write?
No, because 208.003, right, is more than 208.
Then 218.1.
No, because what about 0.001, right? So you could say including, you can say between 208 and 218 and include the 208 and 218, like you could tell me that instead of saying the word inclusive. As long as I understand that you understand what numbers make sense there, I'm good with it. So.